The Legend of Watermelon. Chapter 1. Mai An Tiêm, the Proud Young Man.
During the reign of Hung King the 18th, there was a young man named Mai An Tiêm.
He was not a prince, but an orphan adopted by the king. Because of his intelligence, diligence, and strong will, he was loved by the king, who granted him many riches and privileges. However, unlike others in the royal court, Mai An Tiêm disliked relying on fortune bestowed upon him. He firmly believed true wealth comes from one's own efforts, not from gifts given by others. Thus, instead of depending on the king's favor, he worked hard, trading goods with foreign merchants and building his own prosperity. His independent nature made many officials in the court jealous. They slandered him, telling the king that Mai An Tiêm was arrogant and ungrateful, showing no respect for the king's generosity.
One deceitful minister told the king, "Your Majesty has given him everything. Yet he dares to say that wealth must be earned. Is that not an insult to your Majesty's grace?" Hearing this, King Hung became furious, thinking that Mai An Tiêm did not appreciate his kindness. In his anger, he declared, "If he believes that all wealth comes from his own labor, then let him survive on his own. Banish him and his family to a deserted island and let him prove his words."
Chapter 2. Survival on the Deserted Island. The next day, Mai An Tiêm, his wife, and their children were sent away on a small boat, drifting across the vast ocean. After many days at sea, they were abandoned on a remote, desolate island, surrounded by nothing but sand, blue waters, and towering cliffs. They had no food, no tools, and no one to help them. They had to find a way to survive on their own. His wife wept in despair. "What will we do now? We have no food. Surely, we will perish here." But Mai An Tiêm remained calm. Holding his wife's hands, he reassured her, "Tears will not feed us. If fate has brought us here, we will find a way to survive." With determination, he led his family to search for water, gather wild plants, and catch fish.
They built a small hut and worked tirelessly, never losing hope.
Chapter 3. The Mysterious Seeds. One day, while walking along the beach, Mai An Tiêm noticed a flock of strange birds pecking at small black seeds scattered on the sand. Curious, he picked up the seeds and examined them. Turning to his wife, he said, "If the birds can eat these, they must be safe. Let's plant them and see what happens." Not long after, vines sprouted from the seeds, growing lush and green. The vines soon bore fruit, large, round, green-skinned fruits with bright red flesh and black seeds. When Mai An Tiêm cut one open, a refreshing aroma filled the air. He took a bite and was delighted by its sweet, juicy taste. "This is a gift from the heavens. We will no longer fear starvation." From that moment on, the family relied on these delicious, thirst-quenching fruits.
Mai An Tiêm named them watermelons, as their round shape reminded him of the tears his wife shed when they first arrived on the island.
Chapter 4. A message on the melon's rind. But Mai An Tiêm did not stop there. He had a brilliant idea. He used a knife to carve messages onto the watermelon's rinds, stating his location. He then set the melons adrift on the ocean currents, hoping someone would find them. Sure enough, the watermelons floated to distant shores. One day, a merchant discovered one, curious about the strange fruit with writing on it. Upon tasting it, he was amazed by its sweet and refreshing flavor and took it back to the kingdom. As more merchants learned about the fruit, they followed the clues on the rinds and traced the source back to Mai An Tiém's island. When they met him, they were astonished by his intelligence and resilience. They began trading goods with him, exchanging supplies for his watermelons, making life on the island more prosperous than ever. Chapter 5. The King's Regret. News of the exotic fruit soon reached the ears of King Hung. Curious, the king ordered his servants to bring him some of the melons. The moment he tasted one, he was captivated by its sweetness. "This fruit is truly remarkable. Is this what Mai An Tiêm has been growing on that deserted island?" Upon learning the truth of Mai An Tiém's survival, the king realized he had made a terrible mistake. The young man was not ungrateful. On the contrary, he was wise, hardworking, and self-reliant. Regretting his actions, the king immediately sent ships to bring Mai An Tiêm and his family back. This time, Mai An Tiêm did not return as an exile, but as a hero, proving to all that true strength lies in self-reliance and perseverance. Chapter 6 Watermelon spreads across the kingdom. From that day forward, King Hung allowed his people to grow watermelons, and the fruit soon became popular throughout the land. Not only did it improve lives, but it also became a symbol of prosperity and good fortune. Even today, during Vietnamese New Year Tet, families place bright red watermelons on their ancestral altars, believing they will bring a year full of sweetness, happiness, and success.
The story ends here. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel to follow the next stories.